Peace, love, and balance, everybody. Peace, love, and balance, y'all. It's your girl Isha, the goddess of wisdom, also known as Goddess on the Rise, the Copper Queen, the Flower Hoodie Queen, bringing this sacred energy exchange 222, y'all. And it is a beautiful day. It is Sunday. It's Domingo Day. I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee, y'all. Y'all, I had the most prophetic night. Like, I did a spiritual bath last night, and I woke up. I woke up instantly. They was like, "Hey, time to get up and get that message going." You know what I mean? I was doing a lot of research before I even did my bath for what I'm about to talk about today. At first, I wanted to avoid the conversation altogether. They was like, "No, you gonna talk about this, ma'am." They was like, "You." That's what I'm saying. When you start working with your ancestors and fulfilling your purpose in life, oh, they gonna stay on you. And I've been working with them highly, so they stay on me. They're like, "Oh, nah, little mama, let's go." They like, "Get up," and I'm like, "Fine, can I give me some tea first?" And you know, oh, also it was 111, so happy 111 day. Let's ring the bell. Hold on. It's 111 day. So today of all days is a great day to manifest money. Okay? I'm gonna tell you why here in a second. And that is actually what this reading is going to be about money. How, and I titled it Religion is a Business. And yes, it is. It's not strictly a business, but once I give you some of the information I'm gonna give you today, you're gonna realize how much of a business it is and how much they are running it, just like this corporation, like a business. It's actually all tied together, the US corporation and religion. Okay, and I'm by the way, by the time we get through with this, I recommend y'all go watch Returning to Your Roots, Witchcraft versus Religion, Witchcraft Act versus Christian Black Codes, and Rising War on Witches. Okay, those are lives that I have done specifically talking about things that's going to make sense about what I'm about to talk about today. But before we get started, since this is going to be about us manifesting, because it's a very powerful manifestation day, a manifesting day, I'm going to, hold up. First, I'm going to show y'all some things I got in stock that Spirit told me I need to show y'all today. So first, we want to start with my copper bottles. If y'all want to get these are Goddess on the Rise That Life, and they're actually 7777. So perfect day to do it. Okay, get your bottle, right? The shop is closed today, but I will resume business hours tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. But I'm closed on Sundays. I don't even work on that site. I've been telling you I've been doing readings all. I'm closed. Period. Sundays I do not work. All right, so the copper bottles, okay? And then we have the brass unks. Y'all see my earrings? I do not sell these. I literally got these years ago. Like I was in my 20s or something. I've been having them for a long time. They made of brass, but look, get you these brass unks, okay? Brass, you need these on your altar. You need these in your life, okay? Thank you so much, Jay. But yeah, y'all need these, okay? You need these in your life. These are really good for rituals, okay? Uh, and then we have the voodoo doll. So y'all know I practice Louisiana voodoo and Louisiana hoodoo as well as African American hoodoo as well. So look, get you some voodoo dolls, okay? How y'all doing? Thank you so much. How you doing, Jay? All right, and then y'all know get y'all your gris grass, and they also known as mojo bags as well. I got mine. Mine is loaded, y'all. The mine is working well. Remember, when you start working with these bags, less is best. You'd be surprised how much you can fit into this small tiny bag. When I tell you, thank you so much. When I tell you I have put so much in here to manifest and it's working, as small is better because it's easy to carry around because you're supposed to be carrying it in your pocket. If you carry a purse, it's supposed to be very compact. Too big, that's going to be too much, okay? All right, so look, get you your gris bags and mojo bags, okay? Start working that, all right? And that was the main thing I wanted to show y'all today. So like I said, before I get started, I'm going to do a quick reading. I'm going to use an oracle deck, and I'm going to use a tarot deck as well. And then we're going to get into some discussions. Okay, we're going to get into some discussions that I want y'all to understand about how religion is a business. So if you have a spiritual business yourself, like myself, I tell people, yes, I'm a spiritual business, but I am for profit. And I take donations, just like the church took donations every Sunday. They took y'all donations. Most of the time, they just took y'all donations. I'm pretty sure they had certain programs, like summer programs and things that they had to pay church members for to be available for. But, you know, they still had to take up, for their church to function the way they needed it to function, they had to take up donations from y'all, okay? Y'all poured into the pot. And that's exactly what I tell people. It's a spiritual business. I expect the same thing. I'm not expecting nothing less. So here we go. All right. I'm gonna pull 4 of these. This is a powerful deck. I love this deck. You got the triple moon on the back. It has money draw mojo. As I just said that. And I got mine. Y'all seen the mojo bags. I have a all purpose. I have protection in my money and my health. I got so much. You could just keep packing it in. But somebody, you need to do a money draw mojo bag. So you need to get you a mojo bag. And I'm gonna be sharing some information today on what you could put in your mojo bag to help you manifest money. The different things you can do, okay? But you need to do a mojo bag right now. If you've been having financial hardships, you're gonna need to do a mojo bag. And then you're gonna need to put the actions behind whatever money you want to make. So if you ain't been out here working and you sitting on your butt and laying on the couch somewhere, don't expect money to come in, okay? All right, you got money uncrossing. Somebody, you've been in some kind of money like spell or something, somebody, or blockages. So you need to do a ritual for money uncrossing, okay? Find you a deity, focus on money, okay? Focus on money to help you. So since it's uncrossing, you're gonna have to find you somebody that heavily works with the crossroads, like Papa Legba, somebody, somebody like that. But somebody that works with the crossroads, you're gonna have to work with to do an uncrossing, okay? All right, money draw bath. Yes, let's ring the bell. So you might need to do a money draw bab, which is working with the crystal malachite. I have malachite right here. Even gold. Y'all see the keys. These are new. So by the way, these are new keys that I actually will be there on the way. I always order stuff first from certain places so I can make sure the quality is top tier, and then I order them. So these are mine. These are just samples that I order, and I got a bunch coming in that I will be able to sell to y'all. So working with brass keys, which symbolize gold and unlocking doors and new opportunity and protection and whatever you want. You see what I'm saying? You can manifest love with this. One of them, this is gonna be the voodoo love. Hold on, this is like the voodoo love one, and this is like the hoodoo one. So I'm telling you, get you the keys, right? Do your bath. Do your bath. Put crystals in your water like jade, pyrite, working with pyrite to manifest money. I should have brought my pyrite, but I didn't. I do have a big old pyrite, but it's okay. But pyrite is a good stone. It's another thing. I have pyrite in my mojo bag. I found some stones to put in there. It got money draw candle magic. And I've been doing this all week, y'all. So working with the color green, any green, if you got a lime green one, if you got a jade green one, if you got a forest green one, as long as it's green, whatever you got, use it, okay? But do you a candle. Do you a candle. Do some candle magic, okay? All right, so bottom of the deck, there is a price to pay. So yes, as we know, nothing is technically free. Even deities ask for offerings. So yes, if you're going to be working with any deity, they're going to ask for something. Give them offerings. You see what I'm saying? Provide them things up front anyway before you start asking them for anything. If you're gonna be, even if if you're doing cosmology, working with universal magic and Mother Earth, which I highly recommend too, you still gotta give her offerings. She love things. All right. I'm going to be sharing something real soon on how you can use penny magic to manifest money. Just using pennies and burying them in the ground. Because pennies come from the ground anyway, the earth anyway. So why not give her back her nourishment that she birthed? You see what I'm saying? Her abundance that she birthed. So yes, I'm going to pull from tarot real fast. I'm doing this first for my people that may not want to listen to all this I'm about to say today, so they can get the daily Sunday Domingo message, okay? So I'm shuffling my gold tarot card. Because look, working with gold too, if you have any gold or brass, would be a good thing to start working with right now, okay? So here we go. All right, here we go, y'all. First card coming in, we have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, y'all. Remember at the bottom of the deck said, yeah, I got a price to pay. Somebody, you're going to have to let something go. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So whether you like it or not, and it's something that you're scared to let go of because you feel like you worked so hard for it to keep it and to get it, that letting it go, it scares you because you feel like you may lose it all, but that's not the case. You're going to lose it all holding on to this that no longer serves you, and there's something better out there for you. I'm talking about so much more better. And you know what it is, y'all? Some of y'all are okay with the simple things in life. Y'all are okay with less. And the universe like, no, I want you to have the best. So your ancestors got and your higher self got something else in store for you. You still lowballing yourself because you used to just being satisfied with what you got, which is actually a good thing, which is why you're getting bliss because you are grateful. Let's ring the bell, okay? Most people ain't grateful. Most people are not grateful, but you are grateful. So that's why they like you deserve more because you are grateful. So don't reject that. Don't reject what the universe got for you. Your ancestors has been working on. Look, judgment. You being judged, and baby, your judgment is grand. Your judgment is prosperous. They like, my child, it's your time to win infinitely. That's what they telling you. The trumpets is sounding for you. Look at that trumpet sound. I'm gonna ring the bell. The bells and trumpets is sounding for you. They like, congratulations. It's time to celebrate. All right, it's time to celebrate. That's why they told you to do a money draw bab. Did you a money draw bab? 11. That's the 1111 inch. That's why I like to call this card the 1111. And it was 1111 on the quarter. That is not a coincidence. Somebody, you about to meet the love of your life. This is the doorway. Look at me working the keys. This is symbolism of a doorway, the 1111. Look at the palace behind you. Look at y'all holding up flowers and celebrating and stuff right there. Somebody, you about to have the love of your life and be celebrating. You're going to have, look, you don't want this palace? Because you ain't used to having a lot. You ain't used to having a lot, but you about to get used to it quick. You don't want this palace in the background right here? This kingdom? Yes, you do, and you deserve it, okay? Don't sell yourself short. So we have another 7. I like how these 7s came out today. 7 7. 7 7. 2 7s on the board, all right? 2 7s on the board. And that was the 4 of Wands, y'all. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Just letting y'all know that was the 4 of Wands. And this one is the 7 of Wands, okay? Some more Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. Somebody, you've been working hard for this. I'm talking about sweat, blood, and tears. With this being a fire card, you have probably shed some blood, shed some tears, sweat, stress, lack of sleep, falling outs, endings, breakups, people misunderstanding you, isolation, people outcasting you. You done been through so much stuff and you stayed in divine harmony and peace and balance, okay? So that's another reason why you getting this. You didn't become what your enemies were doing. You know what I'm saying? You're not a follower, you're a leader, all right? That's why. Exactly. Look. 8 of Pentacles. As I was saying that, baby, you've been building from the ground up. That's another thing. You didn't take no shortcuts. Whoever I'm speaking to, you took the long path, the left hand path. Remember, the left hand path, you got to go by yourself. You're on the journey majority of your life by yourself, and until you reach the people that are meant to be in your life permanently. And sometimes it take a long time, and that lonely road be stressful sometimes. The endings that you have to continue to detach from, no matter how much you love these people, they will block you from getting to this. So you had to keep focusing on your money and focusing on building. And it's going to pay off infinitely with this being an 8 of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. It is Capricorn season, so you could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Venus right now. You about to get this money. But I heard this is about to be a bountiful time for the earth signs. Let's ring the bell, okay? I heard it's about to be a bountiful time for the earth signs. Capricorn season. Y'all know they rule by Saturn, which is economics, baby, and building. So let's go. All right. Let's go. So that is the daily rising message. So I can get into the discussion for today. That was a peek into what you need to focus on right now. Okay. What you need to focus on. I'm gonna set these cards aside. And I'm about to get started, y'all. Okay, I'm about to get started. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. So the topic, like I said, was religion is a business, because it is. It's a religious business that they use spirituality to get people to jump on board with, because everybody loves being in tune with something spiritually, to have someone to call on to have something promised to them outside of this world. That's really the power of it. Like, it's so tough here because y'all know this is biblically hell on earth, sadly, because it's so much stuff. You see what's going on out there. I don't even have to talk about it. Fighting over oil. First it was Israel and Palestine. Now it's Venezuela, Nigeria. It's always something going on. Now it was that woman in Minnesota. And then there was another guy that got, shot, melanated, but they ain't talking about him at all. Now they talking, look, George Floyd. They talking about George Floyd poor now. Like, what? So it's always chaos down here. Okay. And when you leave this planet and transcend and transform and out of here, you don't have to worry about those things anymore. Bills, But you don't even have to worry about relationships. See, once you're gone, you don't have to worry about marriage and the children. And it's crazy down here. So they got to find some kind of way to you get relief out of you, and nothing is free. Not even religion or spirituality. Nothing is free. It just doesn't work like it. Everything is giving and receiving. Like the number 7. Everything is giving and receiving. Okay? Perfection. So let's start off with, I'm gonna read, y'all know I like to find my facts and read stuff to y'all. So it has right here, Christianity as a global religion involves institutions and related businesses that generate hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars in economic activity. That is a lot of money. Again, while core religious activities are often structured as nonprofit organizations focused on spirituality and community support, the sheer scale of the associated economy has led many to describe aspects of modern Christianity as a business. Yes, okay, it is. So yes, and notice they always use spirituality when they talk about religion, because it's a form of spirituality. It's just a preference of yours, okay? So yeah, they have things that they do, but it's a business for sure. So this is how we're going to get into the economic contributions and assets of the church. So we got overall economic impact. A 2017 study found that faith-based organizations and inspired businesses contribute over 1.2 trillion annually to the American economy. Dang. So they got a lot of money that keeps circulating within the church systems. And they collaborate. So if people in the spiritual practices like myself that practice hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, whatever, if we did the same thing, we would be just as powerful. But some of us are competing with each other when we shouldn't, because we're on the same team. See, churches work together, and they also have a higher number. Our numbers would go up more if we would work together too, but we'd be too busy fighting. So they don't. So people be like, "What's the benefit?" Because they over there fighting. Okay, because and a lot of us be fighting because our community is still much smaller than the Christian faith. It just is. The Christians have been on rise, and remember, there were laws put into place to prevent us from doing what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now used to be illegal back in like 1970 something. That's not that long ago. That's not even been 100 years yet, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? So we have been pushed back and not been able to teach these teachings because we had to risk death, jail, all kind of stuff. So they got a head start deboing us with Christianity. And now it's our turn to Craig them with spirituality. Okay? All right? And if you don't know what that means you don't supposed to know. So it got right here. Congregations. More than 344,000 local congregations contribute an estimated $418 billion annually through operations, staff payments, and local community spendings. So yes, they spend less than what they make. They making 1.2 trillion and hold on. Yeah, and they spending 418 billion. So, but they still spend a lot, and that's collectively though. See, this is a global thing, so they're not just talking about here in America. This is global. This is global, the Christianity. That's why there's Christians of all ethnicities. That's another thing. Christian is not just a black religion. It's Nigerians that are Christians. There's Mexicans that are Christian. There's Chinese people, believe it or not. Matter of fact, there's Native Americans that are Christians. And y'all know why. Go look at Return to Our Roots and you'll know why. But there's Christians of all ethnicities, okay? So look, wealth organizations, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the Catholic Church in Australia each have an estimated network of around 265 billion. Dang. What are they doing with all this money? Building more churches. Building more churches and getting more members to keep putting in that pot. And what are all these people that's in powers of position getting out of this? Money to keep on feeding their families for generations. Having homes built for them. You see what I'm saying? They live in the luscious life. And some of us are watching them live this luscious life with the promise that one day when Jesus come back, you're going to be in heaven like this instead of having your heaven on earth like they doing with your money. With your money. You watching them, the Pope and all them living it up. The pastors and all them living it up, and you still struggling. And all you get is maybe a little clothing drive. Yeah, they may give you a little donation money if your church even does this. Like my church, when you was going off to college, people will put some money together to give you like $200 and a couple of school supplies to take off to college with you. That's it. You getting little stuff that you can do for yourself in less money if you had all your money and putting it towards what you actually needed to. So we got right here, the global assets of major religious organizations reach into the hundreds of billions of dollars, y'all. Y'all, most of our money going to religion. Most of our money going to religion, specifically Christianity, okay? Now that's what y'all know. When I'm doing these lives, I go and get research and get numbers and get facts. That's the best way to do this, okay? So look, it has commercial activities and industries, media and publishing. Let's talk about this. It got the Bible is the best-selling book of all time and massive intellectual property driving a market worth billions across publishing, film, TV, and digital platforms. Where that Bible at? The Bible, y'all. This book is one of the best-selling books of all time. This book make more money than any other book pretty much on the planet. I don't even think the Quran topping this. And y'all know, in Hoodoo, I use my Bible. I'm a Bible witch, so I use my Bible, yes, because it's a spell book. So this Bible, y'all, and it has, okay, it says many editions have no copyright restrictions allowing for widespread commercial use. So that's another thing. There is no restrictions on printing this book. No copyright. Nobody owns the Bible technically. I don't know if you know that or not. Nobody owns the Bible. Matter of fact, the people majority of the people in this Bible that they teach us about did not write about themselves. Somebody else wrote stories for them. And some of them has been, remember, there's the Ethiopian Bible. There's a Holy Pibby with the Rastafarians and stuff. There's so much stuff out there. There's the different versions. This is the King James Version. And there's the different versions because different rulers put the Bible in their language, what they wanted you to listen to, okay? So it has right here, mega churches. Modern mega churches often use professional media production, merchandise sales, and live streaming to reach global audiences, operate with substantial budgets and less financial regulations than typical corporations. So yes, y'all remember, now this has been happening for a while, but during the 2020 lockdown specifically, more people started getting online. Spiritual people did, and churches did, and they started realizing they had more members because people could just go to church from home because they couldn't leave the house because of COVID and all that stuff. I don't want to get flagged saying that, but they used the YouTube, like what I'm doing right now, and then they get even more members sending in donation. Farrakhan did that. I listened to a couple of his sermons. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? I listened to a couple of his sermons, Farrakhan and all them, when he, especially during 2020, when he was really going in, and he was quoting from the what? The Bible. If you remember in 2020, if you ever did follow the Nation of Islam, since that was happening, the lockdown was happening, they went harder on YouTube for a while. Now, once he was able to resume regular membership, you notice he didn't really do live. If he's still doing lives, I don't know, but it was getting promoted heavily back then. And he was reading from the Quran and the Bible. Nobody, and people was wondering what was he doing because he was a Muslim, right? Because they have a lot in common. Trust me. Allah and Jesus is the same thing. Prophet Muhammad and all that. They got a lot in common. And they both are well-known religions. It's just a preference. So Christian versus a Muslim, it's just a preference. So we got Christian-owned businesses. Let's talk about this. Numerous well-known companies such as Hobby Lobby, In-N-Out Burger, Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A are owned by devout Christians who integrate their faith into their business operations and values. So yes, that is why some of these businesses are always closed on Sundays, because they're going to be at church. So if you work for these companies, you automatically get off for church. You know what I'm saying? Or you should be going to church. And obviously, if you're a Christian, you can get those jobs. Like if you put on your application, because I don't know if they even have us. I think they do. I think they have a section that if you could put, are you a Christian or not? And most people put yes, even if they not, because they want that job. But yes, you can get a Christian business that's a food business and run it up. Or Hobby Lobby. And I actually shop at Hobby Lobby. I love Hobby Lobby. They got a lot of great stuff. Fabric. I like buying fabric from them. So Hobby Lobby. I don't know if y'all knew that, but even places like Hobby Lobby, that's a Christian business. So that business that they created, even though people that are not religious people are supporting them, like me, I'm not a Christian religious person. I practice voodoo, but I'm not a Christian. So even I go in there from time to time because they got some nice stuff. And guess what? All that money is going back to their what? Church. So y'all better start bossing up about y'all spiritual businesses. Stop letting people lowball you. I don't let people lowball me. If you don't want to pay my prices, then I just be like, okay, I will walk away from you, or let you walk away from me, not me walk away, because I'm staying where I'm at. But I will let y'all walk away from me because you're not about to lowball me to give you a discount on my prices when I know my stuff is worthy, because you're getting something. You know what I'm saying? Just like you go to all these other places in the shop, you getting something. So now we're not doing that. So this is critical perspectives. The commercialization of Christianity is a subject of debate among believers and the public. Profit versus purpose. I like how they said that. Critics argue that many modern churches prioritize financial gain and brand expansion over the core spiritual mission of helping the needy. That is true. With one report suggesting that as much as 94 cents of every dollar donated by may be spent on eternal operations and raises. So yes, most of that money that all these needy people that's in need are donating and giving freely out of their paychecks, taking it out of their homes, and they still got to pay bills to live in, and they're struggling to pay to live in because they're giving all their money to the church. That money goes to the church and anybody that is working in the church. So if you don't have a church job, that's what I call it. If you don't have a position, that's why people like to become elders and deacons, because eventually they start getting paid. The more you work for the preacher, he gonna have to pay y'all. He can't just ask y'all to do all that for free. So if your church ain't paying you, you need to get away from that church. Cause my mother, y'all know my mother's a full-blooded Christian. That's what I call her, and her husband. And my granddaddy was an elder of the church, and my mother, her husband was a deacon, and they got paid, and he used to work for the church. So not only was they pouring into the church, they was getting paid from the church. So most of y'all, if y'all don't work for the church, you're like an employee to the church then. You are or a volunteer. Okay? You are like a volunteer pretty much, because if you don't work for them and you're not getting paid from them, and you're coming in every Sunday and giving your tithes for this lesson, and you may have other benefits, like I said, maybe they be running functions. Y'all have y'all trunk or treat. We used to have Hallelujah night for Halloween because we couldn't celebrate Halloween, so they would have events like that. Getting a bunch, but guess what? All that money that they bought all that candy for, all them decorations for, that was y'all money y'all put into the pot. So you still paying. You just paying for somebody to make it look pretty for you, instead of you doing it on your own and to have a bigger family to do it with. You know what I'm saying? Which is, that's what you want, good. And if it benefits you, good. That's what it's for. But I'm just telling you what's really going on here. So we got right here opulence. You got the high cost of church buildings, which often run into millions of dollars, and the opulent lifestyles of some high-profile pastors, and are frequently criticized as contrary to biblical teaching. So yes, these churches they be building. So they build this big old church. We had the church that we got built. Our church really wasn't that big, but it was bigger. I came from a real small church, very small, growing up, and I liked it that way. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. We needed more members, so we had to expand, and we called it the building fund. And every year they was telling us this is how much we need to get this building. And I literally watched that church from being there since I was 3 years old get built, and it was beautiful. So we can do that at a church. Why can't we do that in a spiritual community to get a temple built? How can we do that for a pastor, one man and his wife, if he had one? My pastor had a wife. How can we help him build a building, provide for him? But for some reason in the spiritual community, we be toe up sometimes. Not all the time. I know some. Thankfully for me, I purposely stay around people that I know we building together. If you start acting funny and trying to compete with me, I will ghost. I'm not building with you no more. So I don't do that. Like my event coming up, y'all know I've got the Witches Tea Party coming up. I got to get some flyers made, but I've been sharing it. And yes, I have two other young ladies. One of her, she's providing the tea. And the other young lady, she's providing the yoni things. And I'm doing readings. I want to see her succeed. I need their help. I can't do this all by myself. So I'm building. And if you got something that I need and we need collectively, I'm putting you on. You know what I'm saying? So look, that's how it's supposed to be, y'all. But yes, they getting criticized because they be having the best lifestyles, the building and mansions and nice cars. The first lady be fresh, the pastor fresh, everybody fresh, but you and your kids. Your kids coming to school with clothes from the Goodwill, and they coming to school with clothes from Ralph Lauren. You gonna get yours in heaven though. All right. So we got right here tax exemptions. That's another thing. And this applies to spiritual businesses as well. I'm giving y'all a scoop today. Religious organizations often receive tax exemptions statuses, a practice that some argue gives them an unfair advantage while operating with corporate-like structures and vast wealth. Absolutely. So yes, even me, I get tax exemptions, and I'm not even considered I'm considered a nonprofit in another form. I'm a spiritual business. So this is a spiritual business. Even my jury is utilized in hoodoo. Everything I'm doing is spiritual, so that's another thing. I'm tax exempt. I don't pay taxes. This is a spiritual business. This is a spiritual business. They can't charge me taxes on the spiritual business, so that's another thing. If you focus on that and stick to that, like you could sell jewelry in a spiritual business. I sell copper jewelry. This is y'all see my copper unks. Y'all can get these on my website. My copper bangles. You'll be able to get these keys soon and all that. But this is spiritual tools. So hell, even a broom. I could sell brooms because brooms? A symbolism of sweeping away evil, cleaning, negativity out of your house. I could sell brooms and it could be spiritual. Okay? Seriously, y'all, you got to think outside the box. I'm giving y'all the scoop because I was told to for a reason. I was like, what? But hey, they woke me up today. So mega churches and televangelisms, okay? It has large churches, mega churches, and televangelist ministries, which are churches that actually are predominantly online. Online churches, they really getting money. It has right here, and televangelist church ministries often have multi-million-dollar incomes and assets, with some prominent figures owning private jets and mansions, leading to significant controversy and criticism. Whoa. Now, I can't remember this preacher's name, but it was a preacher recently, and it's going around as a big subject. Him and his wife went to some kind of event, and they were saying that her dress was inappropriate, but they looked like they was living life. You see how he was making, and then he defended his wife, which I'm glad he did. He defended his wife like she wasn't inappropriate. Like, that's another thing. Y'all get too strict about Christianity, because yes, I will say this, because I grew up like it's how I'm dressed is technically how I was raised to dress. I'm gonna keep it real, but I don't always dress like that. Sometimes if I want to show some skin, I may wear a crop top, I may wear a back out, I may wear a little shorter skirt that I'm supposed to. Not not just because, but it depends on how I feel. But yeah, I grew up that I had to wear turtlenecks every day. You had to wear skirts all the way down to your ankles. You couldn't show shit, or you was being enticing and seductive and trying to allure men. So beauty wasn't something you supposed to be doing. Too much makeup. They had something to say about you. Why you got all that makeup coming to church? So that's what I'm saying. The discrimination that women get just to come to church and feel beautiful is crazy. Mary was beautiful. Mother Mary and Christ, she was beautiful. Matter of fact, I'm about to pull this up. Yeah, Mother Mary was beautiful. And I'm about to share all this today. Look at Mary and her baby, Christ. She got the veil on. She's anointed with jewels, like her head. So I have one too. I just didn't wear it. But you see all those jewels hanging off her. She had a headpiece that had jewels in the piece. Jeweled up, baby. What you mean we about to be ugly? No, we not. This is glamour, baby. Glamour magic. So the black church is a multi-billion-dollar industry that could easily promote the image this image internationally, what is stopping the black church from promoting the true historically accurate image of Mary in Christ? That's another thing. They too busy showing you white Jesus and telling you about the God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And yeah, they may teach you about Mary in Christ, her being his mother that brought him in, but they don't teach you the way the Catholic Church put her on a pedestal. Pedestal. They don't teach you like that though, because they don't want modern churches here in the U.S. took the feminine presence out of the church on purpose. That's why every time you read the Bible, most of the time it's always him and his. And if a woman is being mentioned, she's always a property of a man. It's a very patriarchy religion as well. Okay? It was to keep women under a man's control and make women submit to a man and make her feel less valuable unless she's with a man. And that is not how it was originally built. Mary, if you ain't been, I can't wait to go to Europe. I've seen so many videos of those cathedrals and stuff where they got Mary, the Black Madonna and Child, all that. She's melanated. That's why Azili Dancer in Haitian voodoo, where she got the cuts on her face, she's holding a knife and a baby, she's melanated. Very powerful. Very powerful. But they don't want you to know that though. They don't want you to know that, y'all. So this is the article that I found that I'm going to read from, and I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't want to be on here all day, but this message needed to get out. Like my ancestors literally told me, come on, young lady, it's time to get up. And I'm like, this is my off day. They like, you going to be off after this. They're like, you're going to be off after this. Okay. So religion may be a bigger business than we ever thought. Here's why. This is the article it looked like. I'm going to share all this, and then you can go read the whole thing, because I'm not going to read this whole thing. I just screenshotted a couple of things that I felt like we need to talk about, and then I'm going to share it like I always do on here, on Instagram, and then I'm going to share the link so you can go to it. And if you want to use this information, everything that I share, you are welcome to use, okay? Because I know people are on this journey as well. You're discovering yourself and what you want to be doing spiritually. And let me explain something to you. As a person that practice hoodoo, which is not a religion, and voodoo, which is a religion, you can practice hoodoo and be a Christian. Christian is not a religion. Now, there are Christians out there that think that hoodoo is very demonic, because they don't know that hoodoo and voodoo used to be in our churches, because we were staying in touch with our spiritual practices, because hoodoo and voodoo was created from being enslaved. And this Christian faith right here that they used against us was meant to enslave us with. So we had to find a way out of that. And we created voodoo and hoodoo. But some people that lack that knowledge think voodoo and hoodoo is evil. And that's why I'm happy. Like I told you, a lot of my clients are Christians, y'all. I love it too, because I know the truth. So I don't have to not be a Christian to make them feel bad about being one. No, I don't. That's not my job anyway. I don't have time for that. That's another thing. When I'm on here, y'all, which is why I told y'all don't read about the war on witches. I'm happy it's not happening today, but somebody did just say God will provide. But a lot of them be coming from me on here. I have had people go in on me on here, like, oh, like that's something. As a bruja, as a hoodoo and a voodoo, I do not be going to churches saying the universe is gonna take all y'all out for lying to people. What do I look like going to a church and starting some mess? I ain't wasting my time and energy on that. But Christians, not all of them, I've had more Christians come on my YouTube page, see a post I post on Instagram or Facebook, and come at me. And most of them spend their energy trying to negatively talk about what I'm doing. And spiritualists don't be doing that. Spiritualists don't be doing that. We're not going to y'all churches to start some mess. It's no point in that. So let's get into this. And then I'm going to wrap this up. So it has right here. Religion often gets a bad rap in the 24/7 news cycle. And some strands of religion have been associated with the populism sweeping the globe, including the evangelical surge that helped out Donald Trump in the White House. Let's ring the bell on that. It actually says, hold on, let's read that part again. And some strands of religion have been associated with populism sweeping the globe, including the evangelical surge that helped put Donald Trump in the White House. So thank Christianity for y'all president being in the White House too. And all this going on, Donald Trump is in the White House because people from Christian faith supported his campaigns. You got to think they got all the money, right? So guess what? As soon as they see him running for president, all these churches, different congregations around the world came together and paid for him to win. Y'all think y'all votes is enough? It ain't. It's about money. They don't care about your little vote. And I don't care what politician get mad about this. If you ain't paying, that vote is just a percentage of what they look at. Yeah, they take it into consideration for opinion purposes, but it don't really count. Who paid into that campaign is what count. And them Christians paid. Them Christians paid and put Trump in the White House. Just saying. I'm apolitical, but I'm just keeping it real. This might blind us to the fact that religion is a significant source of American economic and social strength. Yes, Christianity is the center of this corporation. In God we trust, in all the money, right? All the American money with the presidents, the dead presidents on there, which half of them have been slave owners in the past. We're not gonna forget about that. I talked about that in Return to Our Roots too. All the presidents and secretaries and stuff and vice presidents that have been slave owners and colonizers. Oh my God. Yeah, I did not want to talk about this today. I'm like, it's Sunday, baby. Look, I had to drink some water. Look, I woke up, drank my peppermint tea because I had my spiritual bath last night. Now I'm doing this. Let me move this a little bit. This light kind of beaming right in my eye. Okay. So it has right here. Religion annually contributes to about $1.2 trillion of social economic value to the United States economy, according to a 2016 study by the Religious Freedom and Business Foundation. This is equivalent to being the world's 15th largest national economy, outpacing nearly 180 other countries and territories. Dang! It's the 15th largest national economy, Christianity. 15th, that's still a good number. You in the top 20? Anybody in the top 20 is the bosses, okay? And it said it's outpacing nearly 180 other countries and territory. So Christianity is outperforming people in other countries and territories. Woo! I don't know if y'all knew this. It said it's more than the global annual revenues of the world's top 10 tech companies, including Apple, Amazon, and Google. What? It's more than, because y'all know Google, Amazon, especially Apple are some big time corporations and businesses. It's more than the global annual revenues of the world's top 10 tech companies, including Apple, Amazon, and Google. That is wild. Christianity doing better than Apple, Amazon, and Google. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot of money. So look, I just want y'all to know where y'all money going. So again, and it's also more than 50% larger than the global annual revenues of America's 6th largest oil and gas company. Hold on. Y'all see what's going on in Venezuela, and you know it's about oil, just like 9/11. Okay? It's always about oil. That's why they've been pushing so bad for electronic cars like Teslas, and that's why copper is such a big market right now, because electricity is the future. They don't want us depending on oil no more, so we can stop fighting over that. But we need oil so bad because everything we use in this country for it to work is oil. And if they take that from us, we'll be at a disadvantage. So they ain't gonna let that happen. Trump said it out of his mouth. Hell no, I ran up on him. Woo! All right, but yeah. So look, it got right here. It's 50% larger than the global annual revenues of America's 6 largest oil and gas companies. So that's why Trump can do what he do. He got the Christians that got his back. He making more money than them just doing Christianity anyway. So he was doing them a favor, paying for their oil to begin with. That's how he looking at it. Man, we paying y'all because we got the bag. What's your problem? Y'all, I'm not a Trump fan, but that man is funny. And he definitely a businessman. And I mean, I don't have to agree with every aspect of that man to know that that man a businessman. Okay? Okay? That's why he don't pay his taxes and they ain't touching him. Because he know how to, he work in this corporation. We don't have to agree with him and his personal opinions about other things that I know about him. I'm not a fan. But just pay attention to these moves he making. I'm giving you the scoop. All right? Yeah, that you could say that a lot of spiritually inspired fuel being pumped into the U.S. economy. Yeah. Christians helping us get all this gas, y'all. All right. So we got right here. These contributions fall into three general categories. 400, 418 billion from religious congregations, 303 billion from other religious institutions, such as universities, charities, and health systems, because they exist, and 437 billion from faith-based, faith-related, or faith-inspired businesses. Yes. So you got to think they got all that contributing. I think here in Nashville we got Trevecca University, and we have Belmont University. Those are Christian schools. So stuff like that. Those schools get donations and stuff. They have their own clinics and stuff like that too. Yeah, Trevecca has a nursing home and a nursing, stuff like that. Nurses and stuff. So that's another thing. You're a church member. Now you can get a job. Because guess what? They got people sending their family members to be. And my grandmother, my great grandmama used to be at Trevecca. Because my mama and them are Christians. So they guess what? They didn't, and Straight Lane. Look at Straight Lane here in Nashville, Tennessee. What do they got? They built a big old nursing home. And that is actually on my father's side, that's their home church. So I grew up going to Straight Lane. I was a member of another church though, because my mother was a member of that church. But yeah, Straight Lane, they here in Nashville, Tennessee, they have a whole nursing home. And they was able to employ their members if you had to get a nursing degree and you had a job. So let me explain something. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this because it is some positive aspects that Christian do. So I know we capable of doing this in the spiritual community. And what's stopping us? What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Muslims doing it because Muslims got temples everywhere. Mosques, Hindus and all that, mosques and all that. We gotta figure this out. So good. Here we go. First, religious congregations, churches, synagogues, mosques, temples, and chapels of every denomination add 418 billion annually to the American economy, as I was just saying that. So yes. So yeah, all these mosques, synagogues, temples, churches combined, and chapels of every denomination add at least 418 billion annually to the American economy. Yeah, we got work to do. All right. It got these local congregations number more than 344,000 and employ hundreds of thousands of staff and purchase billions of worth of services in every corner and crossroads of the country, urban and rural landscapes. So you see how these churches be going door to door, business to business, getting their members because they need that money. They can't get the money without your membership most of the time. Yeah, they got charities to give to them, as we just talked about, but they need the members to it. They need the combination of it all. Okay? So we got these local congregations do much more than just provide places of worship. Each year, congregations spend 84 billion on their operations, ranging from paying hundreds of thousands of personnel to paying for paying for goods and services as diverse as flowers, sound systems, maintenance, and utilities. Almost all is spent right in the local community. So yes, that's another. And I experienced that. We had sound systems. They had to pay for. They cost thousands of dollars. You got to think, when preacher, he needs to make sure he got the best sound system when he preaching and stuff. The lights that y'all use, any programs that y'all run in the churches to pay his ministers, helping him with his ministry. It's money. And that's why we've been doing it for so long. That's why we've been doing it for so long. It was a way to earn an income and earn a living. And we don't, some of us may be discouraged that we can do the same thing with spirituality when you are really serious about it. and your heart is in it. They heart and soul in that stuff. They believe that stuff. That's why they able to be successful with it. And they have support. You see how much they support they got. So we got right here. Schools attached to congregations employ 420,000 full-time teachers and train 4.5 million students each year. By comparison, this is the same number as the total population of Ireland or New Zealand. Dang, man. It's another school. They got Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. My cousins and them went to it out there by Green Hills too. That's a Christian school. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but if you from Nashville, Tennessee, or if you just look it up that area, you know. But yeah, it's a lot of Christian schools out here that got Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts attached to it. Your kids, so all that money, the programs they have for your kids to go to all these summer camps. Because I had cousins that are Eagle Scouts and stuff like that. So I never got to be my mama did not keep me in none of that stuff. I was in Girl Scouts temporarily, and she pulled us out of it because it costs money. And she just wasn't devoted to all that like that. She was focused on the church that we was at. So yeah, these programs like that benefit your kids. So that's what they create things that will benefit you. So them kids get to go to college, and they go to what? A church college. You see what I'm saying? So they set for life, and they don't end up having to pay a lot. They don't go into life with a lot of debt, because this big congregation, whether it was the church that they went to and everything, helps them. I'm still trying to think of the name of that school, y'all, out there in Green Hills. It's literally it's a school. I've been to a couple of graduations. That's another thing. When you have that much building, you can rent your stuff out to anything. So I've been to graduations at that school. I think it's called, I can't remember the name of it, y'all. I'm trying so hard, but I can't right now. But yeah, they said pretty much their population is bigger than Ireland and New Zealand. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's how big the church system is. That is bigger than a whole other areas. Just letting you know. So look, y'all, as I was stating to y'all, school is a business. Excuse me. Church is a business. It is. And spirituality is a business too. It's not just a business, but it is a business. I think it's called David Lipscomb. That's what it's called. Lipscomb University. That's right. I knew it was coming. Lipscomb University over there out in Green Hills is a Christian organization that they send their kids to boys. And my cousin was in. I have two cousins, like three cousins that was in that. And my aunties and them kept them, and uncles kept them in there. And they got to go. And when I tell you, they got to travel the world at a very young age. Like that's what I'm not hating on what they do. I'm telling us sharing this because we should be doing this too. But we got to find a spirituality. We got to come together. But they actually was sending my cousin at a very young age. He was going to different countries younger in life. So that's the thing, y'all, they really got us behind. We really supposed to be journeying life real young. So, and which my cousin got to do that at a young age. He was traveling to different countries. He used to go camping with them in different countries and different cities and stuff. And out everywhere, we used to see pictures of him. We didn't get to see him that much growing up because my auntie kept him so occupied in it. And then guess what? When he was young in his 20s, he got married because he done explored life. He already done explored life. He got to see so much stuff, and he was more ambitious too. See what I'm saying? So we don't get all that. I know a young lady doing that now. She actually has a sisterhood, and they're going to Egypt this year. I do events with her, and eventually, that's what I'm saying. You can run organizations like a business, and she's a spiritual business too. I actually do events with her. I'm hoping to be a vendor with her again this year. But yeah, she's taking her people to Egypt, and I was like, I didn't have that financing because it was a lot, because she got a whole bunch. She's putting, it's like $5,000 or more, but they're gonna be gone for like 2 weeks. And my church did that. My church, that's not that. My church took us on trips where we put all our money together, so you won't have to travel alone. And we went to New York. We done went to DC, and we did stuff together. We can do the same thing in spirituality, y'all. Okay, it's not a competition. It's not. It's a preference. It's a preference. Excuse me. Not a competition. A preference of what works best for you. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick money oil that y'all can use to attract money. You definitely gonna need some green candles. I've already been doing it. That's why I'm wearing green. And the color gold of any kind. If you actually have real gold, top tier, okay? But y'all know y'all can use pyrite. If you want to use card, like look, this would be a good card to use, the Wheel of Fortune, using tarot cards. And if you got gold tarot cards, that will even be better. And placing them on the altar and doing tarot magic as well to attract money. So I'm going to post this too. It's called Fast Money Oil. And I've already made some. I make some. These are just 3 ingredients, but you can put in other ingredients that attract money. This is root work. So you can put in other ingredients that attract money as well. So you need some dried basil, cinnamon sticks or cinnamon in general, if you get the powder form, and olive oil. It has bliss your basil leaves to bring more money into your life and home. It got bliss your cinnamon sticks to promote fast luck and fast results. And pray Psalm 65 over your olive oil and add in your herbs. Allow to steep for at least 3 days. Anoint money candles, mojos, or your wallet. Yes. And that's what I'm doing. I made my oil recently. Something told me to make it before I even found this. Some told me to make it, and I actually have it on the altar right now, charging up for the last 3 days with some other, goddesses that I work with. Okay, to charge it and anoint it. Okay, and I put, I put more than basil in it. It's different things you can work with. You can work with eucalyptus. You can work with sage in there. You can put different things. Peppermint, even peppermint. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff, and make you some money oil. Okay, so you can attract some money. All right, make you some money oil, and then go and support a spiritual business, specifically this one. Okay. Support Goddess on the Rise. I appreciate it. I do take donations as well. But yes, support. All this information was given to you freely today. And I do take donations as well. Or, like I said, I open up tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You can come by the shop. You do have to contact me first. Or you can book a reading by Sacred Energy Exchange 222@gmail.com. Email me and book a reading. All right? I'm available. I will get you on the schedule to get your readings, to get you to see what your fortune is going to be like. So, yes, Psalm 65. I'm going to pull that up. Yeah, this is my actual mama's Bible. I think it was my grandmama's Bible before hers, and she passed it up to me. So this is like a family heirloom Bible. And this is real leather. This is what I'm saying. This is a good Bible. So Psalm 65. I want to find. You need to read the whole chapter. It's 13 verses. That's powerful. It's 13 verses. I like that. And that's a magical divine feminine number. So it's 13 verses in this particular chapter. And read them all. But I want to focus on one in particular that we need to read. Let me see. I'm trying to find the one I was looking at. Yeah, this one right here. Here it is. Verses 9. It got right here. Thou visiteth the earth and waterest it. Thou greatly enriches it with the river of God, which is full of water. Thou preparest them corn, which thou hast so provided for it. Thou waterest the ridges, therefore thereof abundantly. Thou settlest the furrows thereof. Thou makest it soft with showers. Thou blisseth the springing thereof. So remember, the spring equinox coming up. This is what you need to be reading for the spring equinox. Remember, the spring equinox is a fertile time. So if you want to get abundance in your life, these are the verses you need to be reading in Psalms as hoodoos, okay? It got, thou waters the ridges thereof abundantly. Thou setteth the furrows thereof. Thou makest it soft with showers. Thou blisseth the springing thereof. Thou crowneth the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness. Okay, and y'all know fatness meant you eating good. Okay? It got, that drop upon the pastures of the wilderness, and the little hills rejoice on every side. The pastures are clothed with flocks. The valleys are also covered with corn. They shout for joy, and they also sing. So yeah, if you want to have a bountiful harvest this year, you will pray this over your garden outside. You know what I'm saying? Also, Psalms chapter 23 is good too. Let me pull that up. Psalms chapter 23, I believe. Yes, Psalms chapter 23 and 65 are good to use. And when it talks about the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. You see me? Okay. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness in his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod is thy staff that comfort me. Thou prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoints my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Let's go. Y'all, that's one of my favorites. Psalms 23. So Psalms 23 and Psalms 65 specifically are very good to let me bookmark this with my green bookmark. Look, this is I've been having this since I was a kid, y'all. But those two are real good to speak. You see, anoint me with oil and then anoint yourself with oil. Okay? When you make this oil. This is kitchen stuff. All right? This is kitchen witchery. All right, so I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I did not realize I was going to be on here this long, but this message needed to be said. If y'all like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. All right? Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video with other people. All right? Of course, they got to be open-minded. Please share this video. Like I said, if y'all want to get reads by me, it's sacredenergyexchange222@gmail.com. All the information at the end of these videos. If you would like to purchase something from my website, it's goddessontherise.life. Go to my website, check it out. These keys will be on there very soon for you, so y'all can manifest as well with the unlocking those doors. And I think that's all I got for y'all today. And also, if y'all want to give me donations, I am on Venmo, I'm on Chime, and I'm on Cash App. Chime and Cash App is Copper Queen, with the E's being 33 in Queen. And Venmo is Goddess on the Rise, and PayPal is goddessontherise.life@gmail.com for PayPal. All right. So if y'all want to send donations today for this message, I really appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to ring this bell and send this energy back to spirit. All right. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. Y'all. Until next time, happy Domingo Day. Happy Sunday. Happy Capricorn season. Peace, love, and balance. Capricorn checking out.